And it's just preparing to live stream. And I will record. And it's coming up now. Awesome. So welcome, everyone. Welcome, Jordan from the USA. And thank you for joining us today. I'm going to be talking with Jordan about a fear block that he had experienced energetically that was a constraint around his throat, and it was affecting his speaking, his voice, his song, his creativity. So Jordan, just share with the audience and tell me a little bit about your experiences.
So my experiences was like when I first came, I was dealing with the fear block, and it was like I wasn't getting as much expression with my voice. Occasionally I might sing somewhere, but there wasn't a real like flow and freedom like what God intended. And so when I did the session with you, it was allowing me to remove those blocks and open up that expression more and more. I was able to get over fear of singing out more and sharing more. It's allowed me to speak up more. Like I just don't feel sort of muzzled in my voice.
Muzzled is a good word. I like that. And did you feel an infusion of strength and power returning to you?
Yes. So I started to notice changes like where I would feel the presence of the Holy Spirit. And as the Holy Spirit's presence would come upon me, I would feel like this energetic strength in my voice. And I'm like, okay, this is different. And then I started just yielding to God and trusting God's Spirit, asking about, like, Father, what is this? What do I do? Are you wanting me to say something? And it would just sort of like, it just would feel like it would just bubble up out of my belly. And then all of a sudden I would have these words to sing or words to speak. And I was like, oh, this is really, really nice. It's just flowing from the spirit. And I wasn't afraid. Like at first, it felt kind of like I was pushing through this very thin, just sort of layer that was there. But as I began to push through, sort of like, I'm thinking like maybe like a web, and as you push through it, it broke. And then it was like, this is the real voice, the real me speaking, and it feels genuine, and it feels, like I said earlier, not muzzled anymore.
Awesome. Because I know when you came to me, that was part of it. You wanted to experience your songwriting in a way that was dimensional and it released a realm. And what I'm hearing you say is by clearing this block, this fear trigger that was sitting in your DNA, it also opened up your spiritual ear. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah. I'm definitely hearing a lot more, and it just is so much of an easier flow. Um, it it like some words I don't even have to explain it because like it's all new to me. It's like it's this what's the word? It's like something that God has in store for me that I'm experiencing that's never been experienced by others, I guess I would say. Like it's this new territory. It's different for me.
Awesome, awesome. So are you able to share a little bit of that ancestral cleansing that happened and what you saw, what you experienced, and where that fear actually originated from?
Yes. So what I saw was there were two of my ancestors that showed up during the session. One of them was buried from the neck down, and um, it was like I saw this was my African ancestor, and they were buried from the neck down, and this was the way that I guess they had been punished or died, and it affected um, their voice and their ability to move and just have that freedom. And it was like I didn't get to share this during the session because I was mostly receiving. But one of the things that it spoke to me was this was the working of like a curse over that ancestor. And when we went through the different things to forgive, we literally broke those things off of that ancestor, and the ancestor was able to come out free. And it was as they were free, I could feel the feelings of grief and just like despair and the different things, the fear that was tied to that ancestor. It began to lift up off of them, and it lifted off of me. It was like I was experiencing what they were experiencing. I could feel the emotion behind the crime that was done towards them.
Awesome. And the other one, share a little bit about that.
The other one was my Native American ancestor that showed up and had this eagle headdress. And it was like passing on this face of the eagle, this just garment. And I was to put it on my head and accept it and wear it. And it felt like it was like receiving an inheritance, a good um, blessing from an ancestor.
Yes. And that eagle represents the sound of the song and the soaring, which was your desire and, the decree, but also the unction of the spirit and the prophetic and eyes to see and soar. So I'm so excited that that was restored as a blessing to you. And also there was the hanging. Do you remember that?
The hanging. I think that was, I do remember it. I'm trying to remember what happened. I remember there was an ancestor that was hung.
Yes.
And we sort of worked on all of those with the one that was buried and then the one that was hung. We sort of did the same work there, was releasing them from the stuff that occurred,
Yes.
the hanging. And then each time we worked through it, I could feel the release. I could feel it was an emotional release. It was like thoughts of fear and torment and bitterness was tied to what was done to them. And as we released them, it freed up those feelings even within me. Like it just lifted.
And it renewed your confidence, didn't it?
Yes. Confidence has gotten a lot better. Very, very more confidence in speaking and overall.
Awesome. And how did you find stepping into that power to forgive and release that energetic cord? Because that was great injustice that your family experienced over the ages. And I know that when you were activating those principles of forgiveness and releasing and cancelling the debt, there was transitions that were taking place, which you experienced as the reversal of the curse. You were able to connect with your cloud of witnesses, which were your ancestors, but also receive the good promise and a infusing of destiny as one who now stands, and you're actually standing in greater realms of freedom and authority as one who has overcome.
Forgiving, it has shown, it's opened my eyes where I have this greater level of compassion for others. And I've been like, the same freedom that I was able to experience, I'm now able to share with others and help them walk through greater depths of forgiveness. I'm seeing just like just really wild stuff when it deals with like emotions and unforgiveness and things like that, just really lifting off of people's lives. I'm having like these one-on-one sessions and I'm talking with them, and they're getting free from stuff that they've carried for a long time. And that's amazing.
Oh, that is so good to hear. And that's what a lot of people don't realize, is those energetic bonds actually travel with us. And it can be a shadow that influences, that we can sense that there's a boundary or a restriction, but we don't always know what it is. So that's awesome. So how has it influenced your creativity as an artist and as a songwriter and also as a musician? Because I know you're very passionate about singing songs of redemption.
Mm-hmm. So I've been writing a lot of songs that I'm actually working on getting recorded so that I can release those songs for others to also be able to partake in. It is Words are just flowing to me a lot better. It doesn't feel plugged up. I'm able to just flow and sing songs. Just the Lord will start singing songs over my heart, and I'll just join in with the Lord, singing back to the Lord, and then I'll start to write those tunes. They really start out as just small tunes that the Lord is singing over my heart. It could just be something like there's a song, I'm trying to think. Oh, Angel in the Water. That just started as a tune. And it's there's an angel in the water. Um, and if you dare to open up your heart, you'll experience new life. And so it's talking about the rivers of living water that's within your belly, and that living water, there's a angelic being that flows through those waters. And if you just open up your heart, which is the portal of eternity, and allow those rivers to flow out of your innermost being, it brings life to those around you. And so that's what that song is about. And so it just started as a tune, and the Lord just kept singing that over me, and I just partnered with him and started to write those words.
Mm. So there was confidence in your ability to hear, and that's the eagle that you received, that blessing. But also what I'm hearing is, as you would come into agreement, so two of you are in agreement, but as you're singing that declaration, do you feel an infusing of strength and activity around you as you sing? Does it tune the environment?
Yes. So it's like the there's multiple manifestations. Like sometimes I feel like this wind, sometimes I feel fire, sometimes I feel like water. Literally, it'll feel like the atmosphere is swirling around like a pool of water. Or sometimes it'll feel like there's a gust of wind, refreshing wind blowing through. Um, those are some of the things that I don't always have all the words for or like a language for it. But like when I sing at church, I notice the atmosphere will just shift. It'll get really, really, really cloudy and thick. And sometimes there's like a holy hush that comes, and we're like, what do we do next? Because we get so caught up in worship with the Lord, and we're like, where do we go from here? What do we do with this? Because it's just like the atmosphere opens up, and we can tell that there's more that we could press into, but we're just sort of learning along the way.
Awesome. So there really is healing medicine in the bones that you've experienced with your ancestral reconciliation and that DNA realignment. Now, tell me, how has your family received this portion that you have brought to the table when you started talking to them about that?
They were all very receptive as I've shared my video with them and talked about the session. They're actually wanting to, like, my mom wants to do a session. My wife wants to. Not sure if my sister does, but I'll ask her. I've showed her the video. I just haven't asked her if she wanted to do a session or yet. But
Awesome.
yeah, they're very open and receptive.
That delights my soul. It really, I absolutely adore this technology because there's such honor and resurrection power in these sessions. So let them know they're more than welcome to. That'll be phenomenal.
Yeah.
So, oh gosh, let me pause for a moment. So for you, regarding this healing medicine that you're now carrying and the technology and that ability, because this is an aspect of discipleship and maturing love, where you're able to forgive and cancel the debts of others. So this stewardship that you've stepped into, just share a little bit about how this powerful infusion feels like you on a day-to-day basis, how it's showing up in culturally. You're living in a different country. I know it's really trying times. A lot of people are having lots of emotional turmoil right now. Are you able to walk through with more calmness and gentleness?
Yeah. I don't feel so, like, there's things going on, and because I'm around the things, I experience them, but it doesn't affect me in a negative way. It's like I'm able to be in the experience, but not negatively affected by it, so that I'm able to pray, intercede, and bring some sort of change or transformation.
Awesome. Awesome. That's so good. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to interview you, Jordan, was just for that race relations, the fracturing that had taken place, because you've actually brought unity. You're not separating or division. So, and the other thing too is you can see the reconciliation of the integration that's taken place in your frame, in your body, and in your soul. So there's no division within your heart. And it's a beautiful, beautiful thing to see. So thank you for sharing this secret with us.
Yes.
Beautiful. And just as we draw to a close, is there anything else that you want to say or share? I know one of the questions I asked you was there a song of redemption that you felt, almost like an anthem that came out of your experiences with your ancestors? Like, if you were to sum it up in one word, what would you say?
It would be freedom.
Freedom.
Yeah.
Wow. Will you just speak that over the audience, or sing it if you feel to, and just kind of make that sound of freedom ring out as truth?
You said, would I just go ahead and speak that?
Yeah.
Yeah. You want me to do it more like a song, or?
You
Okay.
go, my friend. I believe there is healing medicine in your bones. And I believe this realm of freedom that you've come into carries an authority and a sound with it that will actually penetrate and help people who are feeling very struck or muzzled, that fear, constriction. Yeah, I just believe that your sound will pierce that and shatter it for them.
Okay. Father, I thank you and I praise you, I honor you. And we thank you for your freedom, your songs of freedom. We thank you that people will experience those songs of freedom, that they'll experience freedom in all the areas of their life, emotionally, physically, and mentally. Father, I thank you for your freedom. Your freedom reigns all over, where your spirit is your freedom. Your haven. Let your freedom fill every place. Oh, your haven. Let your freedom touch every soul. Let your freedom break forth. Let your freedom spring forth. Let your light bring freedom to the world. Your love is rapturing us. It's pulling us up higher in your presence. There is freedom. There's freedom from every fear. There's freedom from every fear. I find freedom in your presence. Have your way. Have your way, Yahweh. Have your way. Have your way. Lord, have your way. Have your way in us, Yahweh. Have your way.
Oh, that was beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
That was such a beautiful heart song, releasing a great depth of mystery. Oh, that was refreshing. And some of those notes just were soaring and piercing. So thank you for the expansion. It was quite beautiful. Now, if people want to contact you, Jordan, how do they follow you or contact you?
So they can follow me on my Facebook page. You can just type in Jordan, Jordan, Jordan. That's my first and last name, and it'll pull up my page.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for your time today. And I am Paula Wicks, and I'm with heartworks.life. And this was a living story of an ancestral healing, which came about through DNA cleansing or realignment, releasing historical fear, trauma blocks to release the fire phoenix of the singer who carries the mantle in honor of his ancestors, who are now connected and joined with that generational blessing that inspires hope. So thank you, Jordan. It's been a delight, and we will talk again soon.
All right.